Are you serious? Are you serious? The wheels are falling off in Iran. The wheels are coming off. 20 people plus are dead. Death toll rising as we're speaking. 450 people have been arrested. And Donald Trump may be correct that there is a revolution taking place now in Iran. Iran shutting down the local the social media sites, trying to prevent the crowds from organizing and communicating. But this is a spontaneous response. A nation that is literally waning, the poverty, the lack of infrastructure, the hopelessness, and the radical and the lack of freedoms that are being imposed upon the people of Iran. The Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and President Hassan Rouhani have failed to lead the nation of Iran into this next century. They are faltering. Their brand of radical Islam has caused the nation to go backwards, not forward. And all of the President Obama's $1.7 billion in cold, hard cash, and even the releasing of $1 billion of frozen assets, and even the nuclear, the Iranian nuke deal. It's not enough to satisfy the woes of the common man in Iran. Matter of fact, my son, Bart Begley, has written a powerful article at his website at thecrusaderjournal.com. I'll put the link below. But he's saying, of course, people are being killed during the protest in Iran yesterday. Armed demonstrators tried to seize the police stations and military bases, but were pushed back by security forces, according to the television stations in Iran. The nationwide protests have drawn tens of thousands of people into the streets. It represents the boldest challenge to the Iranian leadership since the reform unrest of 2009. Calls for more demonstrations today, raising the possibility of prolonged instability. Tear gas, rubber bullets, real bullets, and some armed protesters are now trying to take control of the police stations, the military bases. They're trying to overthrow the government of the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, right when the Shiite Muslims thought they were about to try to take down the Sunni Muslim capital of Saudi Arabia. They have their own problem to deal with, and that's the neglect of their own people. Matter of fact, there's another article just came out over at the reports over at Drudge, and that is death toll still rising, ongoing Iranian protest vibrant. Matter of fact, here's the timeline. President Donald Trump just tweeted this morning, the people of Iran are finally acting against the brutal and corrupt Iranian regime. All of the money that President Obama so foolishly gave them went into terrorism and into their pockets. The people have little food, big inflation, no human rights. The United States is watching. And matter of fact, here's a timeline of events since last night. Andrew Peck at 5:53 p.m. last night. Andrew Peck, the U.S. State Department Deputy Assistant Secretary for Iraq and Iran, reports that there could be sanctions against those who are responsible for attacks against the protesters. We're considering a variety of options to hold these people accountable, including sanctions, because of the brutality that they're using upon the protesters. Now, at 8:45 p.m. last night, a man creating a disturbance was shot at the police station Monday with a hunting rifle, killing one officer and wounding 3 others, according to the state media. That happened in Nafabad in Iran. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani called out U.S. President Donald Trump after a series of tweets that he made in support of the protesters. Russia has weighed in, saying that demonstrations are an internal affair for Iran and external interference is unacceptable. Of course, because Russia is a very close ally to the Iranians. The media has cited Ali Shamaki, the Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, as blaming the violence on social media. Yeah, they always blame social media. Social media is the conduit. The energy is the people. All they're doing is, you can't blame. Remember Susan Rice when she tried to blame the uprising at Benghazi on a YouTube video that some guy put up 6 months before this happened? It only had 6,000 views. This video will get 6,000 views before today is over, easily. That's if you don't like the video. It's not going to create a revolution. A revolution is caused when people have nothing to eat. And the social media is the conduit, the mechanism in which they can voice their opinion for once. I'm so tired of hearing that. But if you take away our voice, then we have no choice. And that, everyone knows, is key. So, he blames it on social media. Okay? He says that the social media networks are concerning the situation in the country is a proxy war against the Iranian people. No, it's the Iranian people who are upset at the current regime there. President Hassan Rouhani has acknowledged that the Iranians have the right to protest legally. But he urged national unity as the first and most important step at this stage. And a significant internet outage was reported across Iran yesterday afternoon by some users who later said it was back up working again. They're playing games with them. Now, in January this morning at 2:26 a.m., 9 people were killed last night, that taking the death toll to over 20. And it continues. At 4:55 a.m., Turkey's foreign ministry says it's concerned about the reported casualties in Iran and that it hopes the foreign intervention will be avoided. So now Turkey's wanting to weigh in. Of course, that's Erdogan, and he wants to stick his nose in everything, yet he can't do anything right in his own country. Then in January, early this morning, 6:02 a.m., Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, breaks his silence on the days of violent protest, racking his country, accusing the enemies of Islamic Republic of using all their means, money, weapons, policies, security services to stir up the unrest that began last week. And then at 7:10 a.m. this morning, President Donald J. Trump tweeted that the people of Iran are finally acting against this brutal, corrupt Iranian regime, adding the U.S. is watching. Then at 9:51 a.m. this morning, Iran's foreign ministry responded to a tweet by President Donald Trump saying, quote, instead of wasting his time sending useless and insulting tweets regarding other countries, he would be better off seeing to the domestic issues of his own country, such as daily killings of dozens of people and the existence of millions of homeless and hungry people. All right? So it's no question Trump putting pressure on the Iranian by supporting the people against this brutal regime of their own style of Sharia law has caused this is just continuing. The pot is being stirred now, folks. The Middle East is in a state of madness as Iran, the wheels are coming off of Iran. Pray for peace. We're in the last days. Wars. Rumors of wars. Are you serious?